Have you ever been looking through something that you want to buy and there's just so many options? You don't even know which one you want. There's so many reviews for each one. It's a pain in the ass. That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the future. The year is 2019. You can't buy a damn thing without having to watch 100 reviews. Damn, look at that bokeh. Welcome back, my loyal subscribers. Today we're going to talk about prime lens focal lengths, and as you probably already know, and when you're looking at photography stuff, there's always tons of reviews to look at, which makes it very complicated to make an informed decision when you're thinking about price, you're thinking about what you're going to use it for. There's just so many factors. So I'm going to try to help you out today with what I have gone through from experience in picking a lens. And today we're going to talk about which one's better, a 35 millimeter, a 50 millimeter? How about a 40 or 45? They're so close. This video is brought to you by cats. Not this one. He doesn't care about anything. So why did I pick the 35, between the 35 and the 50 as the range? Well, the reason is these focal lengths are usually those everyday street photography multi-purpose focal lengths that you're going to use, whether it's for an event, a wedding, portraiture, taking pictures of your cat like I do. You can use them for pretty much anything. And the reason I group these is because when you're going to buy a lens and you just want to buy one, and you're looking at this range that's so useful and essential, you just want to buy one. At least that's the goal. Probably add all the others later, you know. But this is about buying one, and buying one is always a challenge. So when I'm talking about primes, I'm talking about 1.8 and faster, which includes the 0.4, the 1.2, Nikon's 0.95 that probably need a very sturdy tripod to use. Anyway, let's cut to the chase. Let me show you the focal perspective of what this looks like, because looking at a lens compared to another, looking at a lens and then looking at another lens, like, there's not that many differences. They just look a little chunkier or taller, you know? So you need like perspective. So take a look at this image. This is not my image. This is actually, I borrowed this from expertphotography.com. If you haven't seen this website, I really recommend it. They are an excellent source. They're an excellent source to learn lots of fundamentals of photography. And when I was thinking about making this video, I wanted to show what these perspectives look like. So they have excellent diagrams and pictures to show that. So if you see on your screen, I'm sharing with you the illustration to give you an idea of the coverage. 35 to 50, it doesn't sound like much, but if you can see, it's slightly wide, but not too wide at 35. And then 50 is, they say between 40 and 50 is like human vision. Like when you look at something in your focus area, not the whole wide peripheral vision, just like the main focus, that's around 40 to 50 millimeters. So I'm going to simplify your problem if you do have this problem. If you're going to buy all of them, thanks for watching anyway, but we don't all have that money, so we usually have to buy one of these. So when I'm thinking about a lens, after, well, being a wedding photographer, you're figuring out what your style is. You're figuring out what look you like. Sometimes it comes down to the speed, whether it's a 1.2, a 1.4, a 1.8. Regardless, if it's a fast lens, it's a prime. There's three things. Why am I using both hands? There's three things you need to look out for to simplify your decision. Number one, style. What do you do? Like, what do you photograph? Are you photographing cats? Are you photographing portraits, events? Figure that out first, because it will make a big difference whether you get a 35 or a 50 or something in between. That's it. That's number one. Number two, space. When you are photographing, whether you're doing it professionally or not, how much space do you have? what's your playground look like? Like, do you have a big playground, a little playground? And if you're walking around your playground, like, can you step back a couple of steps to see the whole playground, or are you like right in front of it? Kind of like these images. That's number 2, space. You need to know how much back room or how much you flexibility you have in your space to photograph. Number 3, what system are you using? It's pointless to search for a lens if that's not the system you're working with. Whether it be Sony, Nikon, or Canon, or Fuji. You have to do the math for those, because those are APS-C. You're going to have to check out your options. Just from the top of my head, I know a 51.8 is usually between $100 to $250. A 35.18 might be a little bit more because wide lenses cost a little more. So you need to find out what your style is, how much space you got, how much moolah you playing with, like how much monopoly money are you gonna cash in for this lens. What's your current level of photography? Being honest with yourself. Are you gonna dump $1,500 on a lens if you're not professional at professional level yet? Or you can get the more budget-friendly version. May not be as fast, but it will get you to where you need to be, and eventually you can upgrade. You know, we're always on that endless upgrade. Whether it's be photography, your phone, your computer, you're always looking at what's gonna take you to the next step. All the way. All the way. To wrap it up, based on these 3 criteria that I shared with you, style, space, budget, and system, those 2 are combined. They're not 4, they're 3. I'm going to personally recommend a 35mm if you're going to include more of the environment, which means you could use that for photography, for portraits, or for events, everyday street photography, or for fun. And I'm going to recommend the 50mm if you're focusing more on isolating, because a 50, those 15mm of difference actually make a difference in isolating. Personally, I like both, but you can't always buy both. So you need to make up your mind between including more context and the environment, which is what a 35 offers, or isolating. And isolating, that's like the depth of field movement, you know, that's how much space will be in focus. That would be a 50. Now, to complicate things even more for you, we have a market full of options. That's the world we live in. So we don't just have to think between 35 and 50. We're also looking at 40mm, 45mm, like the Tamron 1.8. If you're looking for the best of both worlds, I recommend the 40 or the 45. Now, a fast 40 or 45 is going to cost you, because your companies know you're going to buy one or the other, 35 or 50. But if you get a 40 or 45, you're probably just going to buy one because it's the perfect in-between of those focal lengths. So for example, the Zeiss 40 is at around 1,300, but a slower 40mm like the Canon 2.8 is around 180. So depending on the system and depending on the speed, your price will vary. But the best all around would probably be a 40 or 45. You're probably more confused now. I'm kind of confused on what I recommended you now. I'm being filmed on a 35 right now, and the reason for that, and this is a 1.4, the reason for that is because now you can see the context. Look, I can stretch my hands out. You see where I'm at. If I was using a 50, my area would probably be cut around here, or around here. My face would be a lot closer to you, and if it's a fast 50, you probably wouldn't see all these details that you see in my background. So keep that in mind when you're picking one of these lenses. If you want an everything all-purpose, either one will actually work. But how much space do you want in there? Do you want your subject to be the only one in there? Or do you want to include a little bit more? More to think about. Thanks for watching. I want to give a quick thanks and shout out to all of you who have subscribed and are supporting my channel. I opened this channel about a year ago when I had nothing else to do, as you could probably tell from those older videos. Just kidding. I did it for fun. I really enjoy making these videos and kind of putting my ideas out there. Sometimes it's for myself, you know, I'm like brainstorming out loud, like when I'm talking about these lenses. But I really sincerely want to thank you for supporting me. I barely made it to the 100 club. I'm very proud to be a 100 subscriber club member. Maybe we'll make it to 110. We're pretty close. Anyway, it's not so much about the numbers all the time, but I really appreciate you watching my stuff, and yeah, I have fun making it, so thank you. Subscribe for more, like if you like this video. I need to practice that whole skit thing. Thanks.